Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on the Random Encounters Guild tonight. We've got Symbaroum is back after a almost a month long hiatus due to internet uh, hookups and moves and things going on, personal life stuff. The bane of every RPG. But we're back this evening and finally going to get back into um, our adventure. We're playing the Chronicle of the Copper Crown. We're currently in the Promised Land chapter, which is chapter one of the three parts, and our group have been making the way across the mountains, headed north, and they caught a thief who tried to steal the sunstone from the priest of the caravan, and he wound up paying for that theft with his life. And he, the whole time you were all conversing with him and questioning him, he kept talking about this Mal Rogan and the undead lord was going to come take you all. And um, not long after you dispatched him, he or you took care of him, and then you saw three riders come up from the southwest.
That's right. We killed
And,
him because what's the Latin phrase? Six semper grabby hands or something like that. Thus
yeah,
I did at thieves.
like that.
Excellent.
And you tried a clever ploy. I believe it's called what is it? Weekend at Bernie's. Um, where you tried to imitate Keller, and it didn't seem to work. The two riders, the two kind of henchmen in front, seemed to be looking around trying to figure out where Keller is, and the guy in the back, who you're assuming is this Mal Rogan, because he's got a hood up, but you can tell he doesn't look right. He doesn't look healthy. Um, his hands are weird. He's got this gray color in and what you can see of his face is it's gaunt and gray, and like he's just really nasty looking. So you're assuming he's an undead. Um, but he leaned forward and said, "That's not Keller." And everybody started preparing to dance, and that was where we left off. And we were about to get started a couple weeks ago when Tim's internet completely went out, and so we've been waiting on his situation to get taken care of, which it has now been. So we can jump straight in, as we know in this game. The Oh, you're all on the map already. Look at you guys. Um, well, before we do that, I'm Scott. I'm Guildmaster Scott. I run things here at the Random Encounters Guild. Um, we jump around and play a lot of fun games. We try to anytime there's a new game out, we try to at least give it a shot. We love for new GMs to come join us if you want to try a system or just try your hand at GMing. You'll find a welcoming group. And why is it? I don't know why my Stream Deck just randomly decides to not do the commands that I tell it to do. It really is irksome. Um, but yeah, we it's a good community. We hang out and talk about games amongst other things, and we have a lot of fun there. So feel free to join us there on our Discord server. My players this evening are Davery playing Torvar, Tim playing Velkar, and Chad playing Varric. We'll do some more in-depth things at the end. Although, like, I kind of want to take a page out of Brandon. Has been running our Blade 68 game and doing a great job. But I kind of wanted to take a page out of his book. He's been starting every session with a like a fun question, like an icebreaker question. But they're always game related. And the other night he asked a pretty good one, and it would be especially a good question for this group because we're all old school gamers. So, what was the first RPG you ever played? For me, it was Top Secret.
Okay.
And I didn't have the faintest freaking idea what I was doing. My buddy had it, and we were using this map with tiny little pieces of paper that were supposed to be our person, and I didn't have the faintest idea what was happening. But we played it all night long. And after that, it was, I mean, years and years and years later. I mean, this was when I was in middle school. Years later, I played D&D, of course. But yeah, my very first experience was Top Secret, which I would still love to get that original box if I could ever find one for a decent price.
I don't know how much you're paying. I've got a copy of Top Secret SI in the original box.
I mean, that original game, the one I played, I mean, I've seen them going for pretty. They're pretty steep on eBay. You can, if they're beat up, you know, stuff's missing out of them, you can get them pretty cheap. But for a you know, an actual box in good shape and the game is all there and everything, it can be kind of expensive. But and I know they re-released it. I would kind of like to get my hands on the new version of it. But I just haven't done it yet. I've got so many games sitting here that I haven't played yet. So yeah, we'll go to Chad. What was the first RPG you ever played?
That would have been Red Book D&D, basic D&D. Long, long ago and far away with my older brother. So around almost 40 years ago, actually, at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like I said, I played Top Secret in middle school, so that was, I mean, that was in the early 80s. So, yeah, I don't know what year Top Secret came out, but it had to be 82, 83, something like that. So
80 or 81, I think, is when the very first edition came out. SI came out in the like 87 or 88, I think.
Yeah. Tim, what about you? I think I know yours, but I could be wrong.
I'm thinking it's I don't remember if it was advanced or 3.5 that we played, but yeah, whatever it was we played there in the apartment back in the early 90s.
I think that was AD&D.
That's what I was thinking.
And that's when I got back in that. After that was my first experience after that in middle school. I'd ever played like through high school or college. We were so busy being in a band and being long-haired rockers that we weren't worried about D&D until much later. Davery, what was yours? Solitaire?
What's that?
Nothing. I was just making a crack about your age, knowing that you're several years younger than I am. So, what was your first TTRPG?
So my first RPG with all the cool kids of summer science camp was Palladium Fantasy, which is basically a less play tested, more confusing Dungeons and Dragons. Dragons.
And yet it was still less confusing than Rifts ever was.
Very true.
Yeah, Kevin ran. Kevin is a big fan of Palladium. He loves all of that stuff. He grew up on that. That's
This
where
explains
most
a
people
lot.
grew up on D&D. He grew up on Palladium.
Yeah, we played Palladium Fantasy for a long time. Then we shifted to again talking about a game you wish you still had, to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness.
I have
That's what
all of
Kevin
those
ran
still
for
on
us.
the shelf.
That's what Kevin ran for us.
Yeah.
It wasn't streamed, but we played it for what, Tim? We played it for a couple of months.
Yeah, it swapped over superheroes and back to.
Yeah,
kinda strung a couple of things together.
It was crazy.
Yep.
That's it. And they just did a Kickstarter to revamp that.
They did, but I never know how to pronounce the guy's name. Symbaroum.
Symbieta, I think is how it's
apparently he refused to put out PDFs for that. And at this point in time in my life, I'm like, space is at a premium. I need a digital copy. So
yeah, and I'm not a big fan of
I need
money
both.
these days.
That's my thing. Is I want the physical book because that's how I retain information. But I also want it in my phone, so while I'm at work, I can look something up real quick if I think of something, But I have to have the physical book. And here again, that's one of the tip top things about Goodman Games. If you buy one of their books, if you buy the book, this isn't gonna do anything because I've already downloaded it. But like in the first couple of pages, each book this is like a little sticker, and it's got a drive-through RPG code.
nice.
So if you bought, and like I got this through Amazon. Usually, if you get it through Amazon, you don't get the PDF. But being from Goodman Games, I got a physical book, so I got a PDF. I love how they do that. They just put the code in the book, and you can go download it if you want it. What is happening?
Was it your poltergeist roommate has decided they want to watch TV?
Well, I had that screensaver going, and all of a sudden that's supposed to be like a 3-hour long screensaver, and all of a sudden there's a Roku ad on it. But yeah, we just, like I said, he's been asking these cool questions, like what was a favorite character that we've played over the years that we really connected with, and things like that. He's been opening up our games with some really cool conversation, and I just thought with this group in particular, that would be it'd be a good icebreaker kind of thing. That's interesting that Palladium was your starting point. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought D&D.
I played a fair bit of Palladium in high school. Palladium games, TMNT, Art Rifts, and Palladium Fantasy. But yeah, I think David's the first one I met that actually started with it. I mean, I'm sure there were others, but
Yeah, it's just like everyone else. How do you get into this? The first hit's free. I just showed up at science camp, and somebody had the books and was like, "Hey, I want to run this," and we're all like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's what with Top Secret, like I said, I didn't have the faintest idea what was happening or what I was doing, but my buddy, I was spending the night at my buddy's house, and he's like, I just got this cool game, we're going to play it. And I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. My sneaking suspicion, though I don't have any way to verify this, is that it was probably, again, to harken back to our time frame, I am willing to bet that somebody could convince their parents to buy them Palladium Fantasy, but could not convince them to buy them Dungeons and Dragons because that was part of the Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to bet that's why the kids had that.
You are probably correct.
And that's probably why Max had Top Secret instead of Dungeons and Dragons. No, I mean, but yeah, I actually on the Blade 68 stream a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about this, I shouted out his name was Max Hardwick. I still remember you, Max. I haven't talked to you since the early 80s, but because he left, he went to a different school. We were in middle school together, and then he split.
How dare he?
I don't remember what we didn't graduate together. I don't remember I don't know if his family moved or if he just went to I don't know what happened, but in my head, he's still got that top secret game and he's playing it with his kids. Or let's be honest, with his grandkids at this point. So we started off and we were kicking this thing off a couple weeks ago when Tim lost his signal. So we're just going to start back over from the beginning. I mean, we didn't get into any combat. No, there weren't any attacks or actions or anything. But Velcor and Varric are up in the top of the watermill ruin. Torvar and the two caravan guards. I don't remember what we named them, or if we did.
Cannon and fodder.
Yep. And they are down at the bottom of the watermill. And then Malrogan and these two henchmen are outside. And the two henchmen are, well, I'm not going to say they're getting off their horse. We'll make that. They rode up, so they're on their horses. If they get off their horse, that'll be their first. That'll have to be their movement action in the first round, which we are now in. And I foolishly forgot how initiative works in this game, and I wiped out all the initiative scores in the combat tracker. And as soon as I did it, I thought, that's not right. So I had to go back in and reset everything. It's based off your quick.
I was gonna say I knew it was based off one of my low stats because
so it never changes. Like Varric is always going to be at a 13 initiative. Valkor is always going to be at a 12. Torvar is always going to be at a 7.
Not always, because I have a talent that I am going to buy that will allow me to use my cunning instead. So
okay, well yeah.
One day
I will be faster.
But the cool thing about being the fastest, the first person in the initiative, is you can Varric, you can choose to take your action now and go first in the initiative, or tell me where you want to be in the initiative and I will move you there. And after that, you're locked in.
Well, I think given how much that guy's talked about us getting chopped up by this guy, I'm just going to go ahead and get this party started, and I'm going to see if I can put an arrow in him.
And you're going for Malrogan?
Yep.
All right. Let me. I'll give you.
And while y'all are rolling this, that Scott, one thing you said kind of poses a question for me. So, like you're saying, like we can scale our initiative down, like say go from 13 to a 9. And you said you're locked into that. So you're locked into that for the rest of the combat. Can you not scale back up to a 13 at some point, or?
No. If he decides to move his initiative, once the initiative in this encounter is set,
okay,
it's set. Now the next encounter, he's back at a 13, and he gets to make that choice all over again.
Okay.
If he wants to go first, he goes first. If he wants to move, he moves. But once it's set in the encounter, it's set. There's no going back and forth.
Okay.
Oh, I'm doing it wrong. I'm trying to drag him instead of dragging the target. All right, so you are targeted on Malrogan, which means you should be able to just do an attack, and it will. Fantasy Grounds should take care of everything.
Well, we'll find out.
Let me make sure. Let me open up his thing. His quick, so it'll be your accuracy or accurate, which is 15, against his quick,
Whoops.
or no, against his defense, which is a +3. So you would have to roll 12 or lower.
Yeah, for some reason, Fantasy Grounds has me stuck at accurate of 10 on my bow, and I'm not and my spear, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, and it won't let me change from accurate to discreet if I want to, because I think Tim and I both have the feint ability, which lets us attack with a different attribute. So
Okay. Well, I mean, you can roll physical if you want.
Yeah, just
I
I'll
forgot we were having trouble with that stuff. So yeah, you can go ahead and but you need to roll below a 12.
well see what happens. No, that is a 19. That is not gonna hit.
That's the way I was rolling before.
Yeah, that's not a good start.
you're just firing a warning shot, just letting him, giving him the option.
Yeah, that's it. Wow. Like I didn't shoot myself in the foot.
Oh man, that's annoying. Okay, that makes it Velcor's turn.
All right, I'm firing a crossbow, which means I can't use my little feat to, or my ability with the discreet. So I have the whole 9. So let's see what Norse Family will do for me. And that's a 16. So nope.
Well, this is going well.
Were you going for Malrogan or one of the henchmen?
No matter who I was going for, I was missing. But yeah, we're gonna say Mal Rogan. But
Okay.
I got maybe a hair closer than Chad did. just a scotch.
Just
Still a
having to-
mile away, but
just having to recalculate our angle.
Yeah.
I'm an up close fighter. This is my first time using range, so
That brings us to Torvar.
Okay, well, I'm no dummy. I'm not going to go outside of here. Can I know this will probably take me into the next round, but can I kind of ready in action? Basically, can I have my shield up, have my sword out, and the instant that door comes open, I just stick whatever is coming through?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it is a ruin. Like it's not like a big sturdy door. Like this. I mean, it's a ruin. So I would imagine there's plenty of cracks in that door where if you wanted to go, like you can look. And I didn't think about that, but Varric and Valkar, you have a movement action as well. If you want to move, you've done your attack, which is your combat action. Now, if you want to move, you can move. I don't want to take that away from you.
Can I use my move to really kind of study one of the 2 robbers so I can, maybe mimic them later if the dice will allow?
Sure.
All right. It doesn't help, but just to let you know, I'm paying close attention to them.
Yeah. So for next round, this may can you do? I know a lot of games have like a major action and a minor action. So can you, when you're doing ranged, can you do like a minor action of aim for your movement?
There is a there's something like that. Let me
I was thinking that might be something good for the people who are, up in the top there without really any place to go one way or the other. Don't need to try and dodge anybody.
Let's see. Instead of moving, you can switch weapons, stand up from a prone position with a quick test, drink and apply an elixir to yourself. That's just the examples it gives. That's 158 in the rule book.
Okay.
I'm trying to see.
Move around, stand up.
Movement actions are reach an enemy and engage it in melee combat, take up a flanking position next to an enemy already fighting an ally, move past an enemy to reach another one, withdraw from melee combat, create a clear line of sight to an obscured enemy. Instead of moving, the movement action can be used to perform other kinds of actions: switch weapons, stand up from a prone position, drink, apply an elixir to yourself.
Okay. That
I
feels like a bit of a
think there
bummer,
is I think there's an ability that lets you aim.
okay, that would make sense.
I believe. I think there's something that gives you the, you know, so you don't have to. But like, I'm not going to be too big of a stickler about that. Like, I'm letting him use. If he doesn't want to move, he can go over to the window and try to examine one of the dudes. But I think I'm going to want you to roll me a. Let's go with vigilant. Just straight vigilant. You just roll below a 10
For
to study one of the guys.
is that going to give me a bonus when I roll later to do the shapeshifter?
Yeah, if you succeed.
All right. I got a 2. Why couldn't I get that before?
Ooh.
So yeah, if there comes a time where you want to mimic one of those guys, you can get a. I'll say it'll be a +2.
Nice.
So Torvar is kind of bracing up and kind of waiting for somebody to come kicking through the door.
Yes.
That brings it to the robber number 2.
And I'll
Because
put my hand up
randomly, I
to
just
the
randomly
caravan guards.
grabbed them and put them in random order. So,
I was saying I'll hold up, like, kind of hold my hand to the caravan guards and be like, "Steady, men." Hopefully, getting them to do the same thing that I am.
so he is going to. Let me see if this will work. Oh no, I don't roll. I was sitting here trying to figure out what I was going to roll. I do not roll. He is going to fire a crossbow at Varric. And so here's where I get confused.
That sound very
I
sporting.
don't understand why I'm not rolling an attack.
Is Varric rolling his defense?
Yeah, it's the attack happens.
Yeah, that was one thing I wasn't clear about, and I was kind of looking forward to this combat to see it, because I was like, okay, well, if you don't actively defend, do you just take every attack that happens, or do they still have to, like, do you have like a natural some level of armor class or something that lets you?
When a character is attacked, defense is tested as defense under accurate. So it would be.
So quick minus their armor's impeding value.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which in this case would be 11.
Your defense is an 11. You said.
Mm-hmm. It's got for some reason it's got it as an 8, but my quick is a 13 and impeding is -2. I'm not sure how Fantasy Grounds is doing its calculations.
Yeah.
Because mine's a 12 and it's got me at 11, and I don't think the woven silk. remember it impeding. Anyway.
So give me a defense roll, and you want to roll below an 8.
Equal to or below, or just below?
Equal to or below, yeah.
Okay, because that's an 8. Exactly.
All right. So you like he fires this crossbow up at you through that window. He saw you lean out with your bow. And so yeah, so this is how it works. So you roll a defense roll and you take away like his accurate is -3. Actually, see, this is what gets confusing for me. I believe that should have made you roll +3 instead of -3.
Yeah.
It should have made you roll 15 instead of 8.
Well, if it's -3, does that mean like functionally his accuracy is a 13?
Yeah, his accuracy on the see the NPCs don't have like a actual score like you have. They just have the modifier.
Okay.
Yeah, which in that case, my defense would be down to 8 versus that person because they have an accuracy of 3. So to drop me from 11 to 8, so I have to roll under 8.
Okay. Yeah, it's accurate 13. If I hover over it, it shows what it is. So yeah, it's accurate 13.
Okay.
So yeah, you're saying
it would be a penalty
the
to
-3 meant taking away from your defense, not adding
Correct.
3 to it.
Right.
Okay, so we did it correctly. So you roll a defense minus the accurate, and if the test is successful, the character has avoided the attack by either parrying or dodging it. If the test fails, the attack hits and deals damage. And so like the crossbow does this amount of damage, and then we would take your armor, you would roll an armor roll and take that much off of the damage. You would only take what was left. That part I get. It's the whole like just let the GM roll an attack, just like everything else. I don't understand.
It feels
why.
weird that it's like
start doing that because it's just too confusing.
It feels weird to be like, all right, roll your defense, and it's your own fault if you get hit. It's a weird setup.
Yeah, and I mean here again, I don't like that the GM doesn't roll anything ever. But it just seems like it would be an easier thing to just have it be the same on both sides. And so I may play a GM card, and we'll just start doing that in the future, maybe.
Honestly, for what my vote as a player is worth, I'm cool with that because it seems weird for players to both roll their own attacks and the attacks against them, and it's real fidgety, fiddly in a way I don't.
And that's why I was saying I always get confused by it. I've run this game, I've played this game, and I still get kind of confused for some reason. I can't get my head around the way that works. So. Next up is Caravan Guard 1. They are at your guys' command. Do you want to send them out running, or you want them to board up with you? And what do you want them to do?
I think Davery was giving them instructions earlier.
Yeah, my if they were just left to me, I was gonna say hold off and wait with me, and when these guys burst in, then we're gonna mob. But if the other two players are like, no man, send them out as a distraction, then
unless they decide to try and burn down this stone tower we're in.
Yeah.
All right, and so can you guys see the marker switching from player to player?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was fiddling with a while ago. That's whoever's turn it is. It's signifying that's who's whose turn it currently is. So that brings us to robber number 1. He is going to well, robber number 2, after firing his crossbow, he will dismount. He doesn't reload his crossbow, he dismounts. Robber number 1 will do the opposite. He will dismount and then fire his crossbow.
Ooh.
So he
Trendsetter.
dismounts and gets down on one knee to stabilize. There's no bonus involved in that. I'm just telling a tale. But he will actually this time Velcor was poking his head out the door, giving him the stink eye. So so he will go for Velcor this time, and just like before, it is going to be your defense roll at a -3.
Oh,
So your defense
is it
your
11?
defense is showing at 11.
Yep.
So it's
There
an
goes
8.
nothing. And it's nothing. 14. Yeah, 14. Doesn't matter if it's 14 or 19, but 14.
All right.
So
Now
that
we
means I
get
to roll a 1d4, huh?
Yeah. Let me find out why does it. It actually says on tactics, the robbers fire a salvo with their crossbows, but they don't have crossbows in their equipment. Do any of you have a crossbow?
Yeah, it's
What's the damage on the
1d10 on
crossbow?
damage. Ugh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Let me. So 1d, but it's like it's supposed to be set. Like it's not supposed to be a die roll. It's supposed
yeah,
to
like
be
they do a
just a
flat.
certain amount of damage.
Yeah, like
Let me
NPCs do
roll
just
my
like
1d4.
flat damage and. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, let me roll my 1d4, and whatever I roll, that's what their damage is. So it cancels out.
Test fail, the attack hits and deals damage. If the weapon's damage value is higher than the outcome of the roll for the character's armor.
So looking at the NPCs in the main book, like in the Monsters and Adversaries, everyone is listed as crossbow 5.
Yeah, the enemy's damage
Okay.
is always, as far as I'm aware, is mostly just the average of whatever the weapon's damage is. It's just what the average roll would be for the weapon damage, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so Tim, roll your D4, and we'll see how much damage your armor soaks.
I got it 2.
So you're taking 2 points of damage.
Taking
Alright.
3, right? Because it's. Well, no, I'm assuming we're gonna roll better at some point. So I want.
Oh yeah, you're right. It would be 3. Math.
I don't want to roll 4, and it goes. All right, you're taking 7 points of damage.
All right, now that's taken off my toughness, right?
Yes. So your maximum is 10, and now you're at 7. So yeah, you got it. Next up is Mal Rogan. He is going to stay upon his horse and calmly just watch the proceedings. He's not in any real rush, and I mean he may you may kind of calmly hear him calmly state something about the sunstone being his, and he's not leaving without it. That brings us back to Varric.
Well, let's see if we can uncalm him. I'm going to try and shoot him in the face again. Hopefully do better this time than I did last time.
And that will be so yeah, it's his accurate is a 3. So
Okay, that's better. That's a 6.
all right, so roll your damage roll there.
Didn't actually. That's what I was going to try and do that in Fantasy Grounds because that's actually correct. There we go. 7. Not sure why I didn't actually put it in the chat there, but it rolled a 7.
Okay. Would you like to move this time, or are you going to stay put again?
No.
Or use your movement action to reload your bow?
You don't have to do that with a bow.
This
is not a crossbow.
Almost.
I will not be doing that. I'll actually, what I'll do is just step back so I can't get shot in the face with any return fire.
Okay.
Can I make a free action to just shout out at Mal Rogan?
Yeah. If Varric's turn is over, so yeah, now it's now it's Velkor's turn. But yeah, you can. I mean, speaking is always a free action.
Okay, so yeah, once that arrow hits him in the face, Turar is gonna shout out and say, "You may claim the Sunstone, old Rattlebones, but you'll have to come in here for it."
All right, so Velkor.
All right, with that, I am invigorated, and of course have to load the crossbow, and we're going to fire again at the old Mal Rogan.
All right, so it'll be your accurate -3.
Oh, please be 1. Nope, that's a 7. So just barely a miss. I'm getting closer.
You kill his horse.
Oh yeah, so that was you moved your reload was your move. So
Yeah.
All right. Torvar, you gonna man up and step outside like Chuck Norris, or
that depends. You gonna let me
gonna
roundhouse
lift your
kick in
skirts
my?
and hide behind these 2 guards?
You gonna let me roundhouse kick in my gusseted blue jeans if I do?
Does he get the stats of Chuck Norris?
Yeah.
Sure, you can have the stats of an 80-year-old man.
Still better than mine, probably.
Fair.
No, like I said, I'm still taunting and holding my action, waiting for these people to come in here.
Robert number 2 is going to drop his crossbow, and from the horse is going to pull a long spear out, and he is going to begin making his way
Downtown.
He's going to start running up to the door. I don't think he quite gets there. In my head, they weren't like quite close enough for him to although like movement speed is not really a thing in this game, but in my head they were far enough back where shots from the top of this tower were able to be close. And so So I'm going to say he doesn't. He took one movement action to draw the spear, and then another movement action to start making his way forward. You want the caravan guards to continue to wait,
Yeah, we'll do that.
knowing that he dropped his crossbow and the other crossbow is empty.
And that the GM is trying to taunt you into going outside.
Into making a tactical mistake. Yeah, no.
Shut up,
we're
Chad.
good.
You play your game, I'll play mine.
Uh-huh.
I don't get to roll. I have to play mind games.
My character was born at night, but he wasn't born last night.
All right, caravan guards, wait. Robert number 1 is also going to drop his crossbow and draw a spear from his horse and begin making his way towards the door of the water tower. Malrogan is going to, having just gotten hit with an arrow in the shoulder, he's going to kind of move. He's not like running. He's not going around the tower, but he's also not going to. He's just going to kind of have his horse kind of sidestep a few steps. That way, if Varric pokes his head back out, he won't be in the same spot. Varric will have to adjust for the shot. So he will move over, and that brings us back to Varric. So if you look out again, you see these two guys coming at the door.
Oh, fine. I'll see if I can take down one of his henchmen. What am I rolling against for those guys?
Their defense is 2, so -2 to your accurate.
So 13 or less. That is a 12. I'm rolling right on the edge.
Which one were you going for?
Whichever one,
or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
All right, we'll go for 2. He's the first one in the initiative, so we'll go for 2.
All right, that is 8 damage before their armor.
Okay, 8 damage
Mm-hmm.
with a bow.
A bow and the marksman trait, yes.
Okay.
He's dead.
Because the marksman trait
No,
bumps
he's
up
not
my
dead,
damage with ranged weapons by a dice step, which means I do D10 with a bow and D12 with a crossbow.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, you actually, kind of you hit him pretty hard. There's a lot of damage there. Where did you hit him? Like in the leg or something? Like, I mean, you really.
Oh God, no! If I'm shooting from top down on a tower, if I can core him straight through the top of the helmet, I will. I'm not playing with these guys.
You didn't do that much damage. He's still moving and kicking, but I mean, maybe you got him in
I was
his
gonna say
shoulder
solidly in the
straight
shoulder.
down.
Yeah. I'm not going for glancing shots here.
Would you care to move or take some other action with your second action?
No, same thing. I'm just going to duck back away from the opening in case Malrogan has something up his sleeve that's ranged.
All right, Belcor.
All right. He's going to load and take another shot and regret it probably.
Man,
Malrogan
it's free
again?
combat.
Sure.
All right, -3.
I got a 2.
Hey!
There we go.
3rd time's the charm. Oh, I got to roll a D10. All right.
A D10.
Crossbow.
It's crossbow. Crossbows are nasty, man.
Yep.
But only if you hit. And a 3.
Well, they
don't
would
have
be
a
nice to
crossbow
keep.
equipped.
Huh? It wouldn't let me. I've got it equipped on the inventory, but
Oh,
it
I
never
bet
showed up in
you could only have 3 items equipped for
No.
some reason in Fantasy Grounds. I bet. Um,
I mean,
like
I
I
just
bet
took
if
it off
you,
of.
I bet if you make the parrying dagger, if you make that carried.
Gotcha. Well, I'm fixing to drop it anyway if they're coming in because I'm not exactly a ranged
No,
character.
that
Obviously,
didn't fix it. That's weird. There's this Fantasy Grounds, Symbaroum in Fantasy Grounds has got some. It's like they got it in the system and then just kind of left it instead of taking care of some stuff. So what damage did you do?
Oh, what did I say? 3?
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So probably nothing, depending on what their armor is.
Good guess.
But I hit him. It may have bounced
That's
off,
important.
but I hit him.
Let him know we ain't forgot about him.
Torvar.
All right.
Still
I'm going
a
to
win.
shout out at these guards and say, come on, you old women. Step inside. We've got a cup of tea and a fire going for you. And again, still holding that action. Just waiting.
All right. Robert number 2. Okay. He is going to run up to the door, and he may try to stick his long spear through the one of the boards is split open, and he might try to stick through, but he's waiting. He doesn't just kick the door in and come running in. He's not going in by himself.
Okay.
That will bring us to the Caravan Guards. I take it you're wanting them to remain in a holding pattern?
When he runs up and sticks his spear through, that doesn't give me an opening to use my held action. I'm just asking.
I mean, yeah, if you want to try and hit it, I mean, I don't. The problem is I don't know how I would have you damage his spear. If you were to damage it.
Well, I was just thinking if his spear can go through, then my sword can go out. And so, can I hit him?
Mean,
or...
I told you that the door was damaged and was you could see through it. So yeah, I mean, you could definitely, try to stab him through the door. I thought you were saying you were going to try and attack his spear. But yeah, if you want to run over and go through the door and try to hit him, then sure, yeah, go for it.
All right, let's do that. So, I have feint, which lets me use discreet instead of accuracy, and all of my attacks are at advantage, so they have a +2. So functionally, I have a 13 in my attribute.
All right, and you're going against a 3 defense, so 10 or lower. Or
3
and lower.
All right, and it's a D8, and then because it's also an advantage, it's another D4. So that is a 4 and a 4. So that's 8 points of damage.
Ouch.
All right,
I'm slow,
you
but I'm sneaky.
You pierce him, he runs over and jabs his spear through, and you just run your sword right into his right eye, and he just kind of slumps and falls backwards, and number 1 goes, no.
Pull that spear through the door. That's ours now.
So caravan guards, anything you want them to do? Or well, no, number 2 hadn't gone yet. If you do you want them to do something now or remain hidden?
Yeah, how about they grab that spear, turn it around, and we get ready to poke that through a door when this guy comes up. Now I have a long spear too. Ho ho ho.
Oh, it doesn't matter because you rolled so low, but I had the caravan guard character sheet open, and so the robber character sheet. So instead of a defense 3, it should have been a defense 2, but you beat it anyway. So yeah, he is going to number 1 is going to instead of trying to stab through the door or anything, he is just going to run over and attempt to I'm not sure how we're going to roll this out. But he's just going to try and open the door and step aside. Whether he does it just kicking it or if he turns the handle, but like he's just going to try and get the door open and then step aside, not come in, not attack, just try to open the door. I want to say that would be like if you've got, what do you want to do to try to defend against that? I mean, it would be a caravan guard. You've already done your action, so
yeah.
But
I mean,
one
if
of
you're trying to
them
hold
can.
the door, I imagine that would be a
Yeah, I was
attribute
gonna say,
contest.
it's an exterior door, so I'm gonna assume it swings in. So yeah, they have one of the caravan guards, as soon as the door starts to swing open, kind of hit back against it, try and brace it.
So
I guess a strength check.
yeah, be strong against strong.
Left guard strong.
See here, this is where I'm confused again. The caravan guard strong is -5. His
Which means
strength
he has
is,
a 15 in it. That's his
he's got a
highest.
15. The robber has a 9.
So I guess the caravan guard would roll. Target is 15 plus 1.
Plus
is that what a 9
1.
is?
Yeah, so it would be,
So 16 or higher, or 16 or lower would succeed.
yeah.
17.
Wow.
Surprisingly sturdy. Get robber.
So yeah, I mean, like you guys see him running up, and we'll say it was number 1 comes over, and he gets to the door and tries to brace it, but the dude kicks it and then steps aside, and it kind of knocks number 1 back, and the door flies open.
All right.
And Torvar, you're standing there in the doorway, having just procured a long spear, and you lock eyes with Mal Rogan.
All right.
And you notice, like, his maybe you have a moment where you see his aura and it's just black as tar. His shadow is just this surrounding him like in waves. And you notice that he's only holding the reins with one hand. His other arm, uh, his left arm, uh, there doesn't seem to be a hand protruding from his cloak sleeve. And he looks at you with a look of just pure evil, and you feel something really, like, really bad come over you. You're not exactly sure what it is. I'll tell you what. You're a you know this stuff. You're a
I'm a
witch.
witch. Yeah.
Okay. He has cursed you.
Do I get a resistance of that of any sort?
No. Not against him, because he is he's a master level. I want to be sure I have it right. I looked it up before we started. I want to be sure I give it to you correctly. I was going to target Varric with this, but seeing as how Varric has been playing smart and staying up in the top of that tower, so there's no material component. A dark glare is enough. The mystic masters the stare of the evil eye and can curse enemies on the battlefield, a power often used by the disciples of the Dark Lords during the Great War. At the master level, the mystic puts a curse of death upon an enemy. The enemy suffers 1d6 damage, ignoring armor, for all actions it tries to perform. The target suffers no damage if it remains still and passive. This effect is active until the mystic fails a resolute test.
All right. I acknowledge that is part of this game. I will just say, as Davery, that is one of my pet peeves of, like, lose turn, take damage if you do action or anything. I'm like, great. There is nothing more fun in a game than being prevented from playing the game. That is, I love those sorts of things.
Well, see, that's the thing. Here again, the way curse is written is for a player to cast it against an NPC.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I'm not supposed to roll, how does Malrogan roll a resolute check?
That's a good point. Yeah.
To know, and if I don't roll a resolute check, do you just stay under this curse?
That is an excellent question also, yeah.
So what I'm going to do, it won't even let me roll it. I'm going to roll. Damn it.
Is it resolute v resolute?
No, again, it's because he's a master. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to have a target number. So that's what I'm asking is.
It would be yeah, I guess it would. It would be against your resolute.
Haha, 15, baby. That's my high score.
Yeah, 15 was that guard's high score too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Many a slip twixt a cup and a lip.
All right, so do I have the GM rolls where you guys see them?
Yes.
Where we can see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, crap.
I can see it. Or is that not supposed to be?
What I am going to say, though, is, like, it at least takes effect for this round. But he failed this resolute check, so after round 4, you won't be under the effect anymore. He's already failed the check. And you have the bonus of knowing what it is that has happened to you. So
next
that
round I can
effectively
either
takes you out of combat for a round.
Yeah, I was gonna say next round I can either not act or act and take damage.
a D6 of damage.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
And here again, that is like for NPCs, they have tactics, and it literally says lets his followers attack first while he puts a curse on what he believes to be the toughest enemy.
Well, thank you. I
Or
appreciate
the
that.
first visible one.
Hey,
Yeah,
we're gonna go with what the book says.
Or
book says he thinks I'm the toughest.
Toughest or most annoying.
I'd like to see that.
So, okay, so we will, and he also he moves his horse again, just kind of cantering around, getting. I mean, actually, he may. Nope, he's gonna get further away. That brings us back to Varric.
Decisions. But now that he's definitely outed himself as a caster, I'm going back. I'm going to shoot at Malrogan again. I kind of figured he was, but you know.
All right, so it'll be your accurate -3.
That is a 3. I would call that a hit.
A hit.
Most palpable hit.
Yeah. Come on, D10, don't fail me now. 7 again. Apparently, it likes that. Actually, wait, I rolled the other 7 in Fantasy Grounds, but 7.
So the universe likes 7.
Yeah, apparently the universe likes 7.
Any movement?
I'm going to assume my movement was actually me stepping back up to the window since I had stepped back previously. So.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, Velcor.
Well, Velcor was about ready to just toss this crossbow and jump down, but after Torvar took out one of the robbers, and he looks like he's got that underhand down below, and he got a hit. He's going to try one more time. He's going to load the crossbow and aim at Malrogan.
Oh, come on. Take a dagger in hand and jump off the tower.
I can't fly.
Sure you can until you hit the ground.
Everybody can once.
Yeah,
only with style.
I miss. And he just throws the crossbow down in disgust.
And so since they've taken their action now, Torvar is going to shout out to Malrogan and say, "Come on, old rattlebones, your magic's as weak and thin as your blood. You'll have to do better than that." With a confidence I do not feel, but he doesn't have to know that.
Let me check.
Courage is being the only one you know. Courage is being the only one who knows you're afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, how do we feel about this? All actions it tries to perform.
Well, you said it was a free action.
And this says all actions. Are free actions not actions?
You know what, baby? I'll take a D6 damage to shout at that guy. But you know what? I want to get a roll to mess with him if I'm gonna take damage. If I'm gonna take damage, I want to be able to make some sort of like cunning or vigilant or something to like mess with this man's emotions.
All right.
I want to toy with this man's emotions.
If we're doing that, then I'm rolling the D6.
Whoa!
Oh!
That hurts.
I
don't know where your toughness is at because in the combat tracker it says 0.
Right now it's at full 10. What is that?
Okay. Yeah, on your character sheet it says current is at 0. That's weird. So yeah, 6 points of damage, and roll a. You can roll cunning, persuasive.
My cunning is much higher, but I feel like persuasive is probably a more valid attribute to use. So I will leave that up to the GM.
I'll leave it up to you. This is your
All right, well, I'm taking cutting then, man. I just took 6 points of damage for this. Give me them extra 3 points. 4. Ha ha. Suck it, now, Logan.
Against I guess that would be against his resolute.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds good.
Which would make the roll what is your cunning?
13.
So if I'm reading this right, his resolute is -3.
Okay. So
that would make
my roll a 7, which still succeeds.
Yeah. I just don't get why are some attributes positive and some negative?
So a 10 is a 0. So that's like the flat, you've got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
And then I think we're supposed to be adding or subtracting from our final roll or from our target number. I don't really clearly get it either.
So like if you're rolling against his discrete, it says 1. His discrete is a 9. So he is a 1 in discrete.
Plus 1. Yeah.
When you rolled against if you were to roll against his discrete, your roll would be +1 instead of -1.
Yeah, and I think it would be. I think we are adding or subtracting from our attribute.
Yeah.
So
that's totally what it is. It's just the way the attributes are labeled on the NPCs makes.
Yeah,
it's the same thing on the character sheet, and I think it's because they're presuming, or at least Fantasy Grounds is presuming you're going up you are going up against another player because
so if he was trying to sneak by you, it would be you're vigilant against his discrete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Torvar has an 11.
Yep.
He has a 9, so it's a 1. So you would have to roll a 12 or under.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Okay. So this cunning attack against his resolute, what is it? I mean, it's obviously not going to do physical damage. What is it you're just trying to piss him off?
Yeah, just trying to make him so angry he makes a mistake.
Okay.
Either he abandons his cursing and like tries to charge in, or in some way, I'll leave it up to the GM. In some way, he makes a tactical bad choice.
Okay. All right. So Caravan Guard number 1, the one that got pushed down by the door being kicked open, he'll stand up and be ready to go. Do you give him leave to go after this robber that's at the door?
Yeah, let's go after this robber. I feel like, and now it's 2-on-1. I like those odds.
All right, he jumps up and runs out the door with his he's got a sword drawn, and the robber's defense is +2.
Right. Chad and Tim, do you guys want to roll these? So you've got melee guys and your archer guys.
It don't matter to me. I mean, sure.
So you're rolling his accurate is we'll see here again. His accurate is a 13.
Mm-hmm.
And the robber's defense is a +2. So you're looking for an 11 or under.
One.
That's definitely below an 11.
Yeah.
All right, and then with the sword, that is a. See, it says it's a 4.
Yeah, because they're NPCs, so it just gives them the average value.
Let me. Wouldn't be a bastard sword. It wouldn't be a fencing sword. Wouldn't be a halberd.
Would it just be the regular, what is it, one-handed weapon?
I guess I'm not seeing sword listed in here.
Yeah, because I think it's
Stiletto
just
is
like,
essentially like a short sword.
well, yeah, what I'm saying is like, again, like for the damage, there's just that generic one-handed weapon damage of like what, a D6, D8, something like that.
D8. It would be a D8 because it's 4, so it's giving it the average value of the die.
Okay, yeah, long.
Okay.
It would just be like single-handed weapon, and it would do 1d8.
All right, so yeah, give me a D8 and his So yeah, just give me a D8 and I've got his armor here. So go for it.
3. So
Okay.
not great.
Now we got Caravan Guard 2. We'll call him Joe.
And he's the one who's got the long spear in hand.
Sure, he can be.
Right.
I'll have to look up.
It's a D8 as well. If he doesn't have any other skill, it's just a D8 weapon. It's a D8 damage with a quality of long.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, long weapon, 1d8, long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long weapon is long, unsurprisingly.
But it also, like, I mean, would it be better to use the sword though?
If he doesn't have any other skills, it doesn't really make a difference.
What does the long characteristic does it let him?
So
Gives the wielder one free attack each turn against an opponent who comes into range of melee combat, as long as said opponent is not also armed with a long weapon. So if Robber 1 has his sword, then
he can stand back.
Caravan Guard 2 gets 2 attacks against him.
Mm-hmm.
Robber
So,
1
yeah,
has a long spear.
Okay.
You took the other guy's spear. This is the guy that still has his spear. So,
But he's still using it. He didn't drop it and draw a sword or anything.
no,
Okay.
he ran over and no, they don't even have swords.
Mm-hmm.
He ran over and kicked the door. He dropped his crossbow, pulled the long spear, ran over and kicked the door. He's got his long spear in his hands.
Okay. Well, in that case, it's still worthwhile to keep the spear because it prevents the robber from being able to get 2 free attacks.
Yeah.
But if you want him to run out there and attack the guy, do you want him to use the sword or the spear? Is what I'm asking.
Spear.
Just poke him.
Yeah. Like I said, don't let that guy get a free attack against you also.
Nope.
All right. So, Tim, if you would like to this time give me an accurate roll, and you want to roll below a 11.
20? Roll below 20? Okay.
Yes.
I got a 4.
Hey.
All right, that is a hit. Roll me a D8.
2. Where'd you go? There you are. 7.
Nice.
Ouch.
Wow. Okay.
And a palpable hit.
Cat's eye dice for the win on that one.
All right. That makes it his turn. He is going to he's going to stab at number 1 that doesn't have the spear. So, Chad, that will be. So we got NPCs fighting NPCs.
Yeah, his quick is a 0, so he's just got a 10. So,
His accurate is a 13.
So
it's a negative
7.
3 against the Caravan Guard's defense is plus 3.
which is weird because it's got his quick listed as 0. Oh no, it's a plus 3 because his armor is impeding. which
Yeah.
means the defense is worse. That means that it's easier for that guy to hit me.
Okay, but you get your armor against it if he does. Okay,
But
that
yeah,
makes
if he hits me, it subtracts damage, but that effectively means his accuracy is higher.
So he's rolling you're going to roll a defense roll.
Which means I've got to make a
at
4, because I'm already at negative. I'm already losing 3 because it was accurate. So that's moving me from 0 essentially. So a straight D10 or straight D20 roll.
So with the defense and his accurate, you're losing 6.
Yes, which will put me at I need a 4 or better.
Ooh, it could happen.
It can. It didn't, but it could.
But it could.
That was a 16. So yeah.
That will put you at with this, he's doing 4 damage. Is what this it's showing 4 damage.
Yeah.
And Caravan Guard's armor is 3, so that means he does 1 point of damage.
1 damage. All right.
It could have been vastly worse.
It could have. Mal Rogan was he's going to continue to move around, and he's trying to taunt more of you to come out, but he pulls a spiked club from his saddle. He pulls the spiked club out and is hitting, trying to taunt you guys to come out.
We've established who is the master taunter in this group. That's not
that I'm considering to be your taunt, stopping him from doing what he was going to do. So we're even.
That's fair.
And you no longer are under the effect of the curse because he failed his resolute check. So
terrible night to have a curse. All right.
That brings us back to Varric for round 5.
I can sit up here and do this all day, buddy. So yeah, Varric's just going to try and put another round in him. I had no problem sitting up here and turning him into an undead pincushion.
Tim, what did you do?
What?
Oh, yeah, Tim, you've got a series of tokens on your character.
Do what?
Nothing now, but you had a series of tokens.
Yeah, I deleted it, though. There was there was a second Valcor token and a ×1, ×2, ×3.
It's got a view mode, and I was just kind of looking around that, but I don't know why it would have anything else come up, but
that is a 2 to hit him again.
Okay, that is a hit. Give me a damage roll.
Let's see if I can get another 7. No, I got an 8. I'm pretty certain it's taunting me. I'll take it though.
All right.
Like I said, I can sit up here all day, Rattlebones.
Velcor.
Velcor just feels like he's a one-hit wonder with the crossbow, and so he makes his way down the ladder as quickly as he possibly can. Since he's, kind of nimble, would he be able to, slide down portions of it and get down all the way to the bottom, or am I stuck about halfway?
No, you can get down to the bottom. Sure. That's your movement action, though. Once you get to the bottom of the ladder,
I'm done. But
okay.
I can't seem
now,
to move.
If you want to double move, you can double move. You can swap your combat action for a second move if you want to.
I can't seem to move my token now, so. But yeah, I'm just going to be down there.
There you go. Try it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I shut the.
And,
I accidentally closed the map, and when I opened back up, it went back to token lock for some reason.
I do want to, as a free try this shapeshifter thing again. So that's my resolute, and I am successful. Is it a 5 or some of the paint's coming off on some of them? It's a 6. So I look like one of the robbers.
You look like the one that got killed.
Okay, but still, if anybody tries to attack me, they take a 50% mischance.
All right. So, Torvar, you turn around, and the dude you just killed a second ago is standing behind you. What do you do?
What the? Now, I assume I heard him clatter down the ladder, and I know what
It
changed.
says the similarity is good enough to make it hard for enemies to hit their mark. It doesn't say anything about my friends.
I was about to say, I just heard somebody come from upstairs. I know I have a changeling in my party. I can do that arithmetic.
This was Dungeon Call Classics. I would definitely make you attack him. If we were playing DCC, you would definitely be attacking him.
But we're not.
But it is Torvar's turn. What would you like to do?
Torvar is going to step back against the wall away from the door so Malrogan can't see him and touch himself.
I didn't come down
Here, let me hide your token.
What I'm going to do is I am going to lay on hands and heal myself of the damage.
Phrasing.
Are we just not doing phrasing anymore?
I hit his token, so now it's in private now. So
so yeah, it says you have to make a resolute check, and it says you can do it on yourself. So I assume it's just a 50-50 shot at that point. I rolled a 6, so I'm assuming. And now I heal a D6 of damage. I take a D4 of temporary corruption.
Yeah.
I got a 4 on the D6 of healing. So I'm not completely healed, but I'm better. And a 3 on the corruption. And I assume, because I am assuming that Malrogan is like me, he's a witch, and as we all know, witches are fucking gross. So I assume like I taunt him, and then I just start like coughing up this viscous black fluid.
Oh.
And
so how many points did you heal?
I healed 4.
So you're at 8 now.
Yes. And I took
10,
3 points of temporary corruption.
3 points of temporary corruption. Okay.
Yeah.
It's in your character sheet now.
Okay, cool.
It's weird. I don't know why
Yeah.
Tim, yours is okay. Varric, you haven't been hit, so you have 10 hit points. Yeah, it's in there. I just didn't put it in for some reason. Weird.
All right. Well, I feel better after touching myself.
So say we all. All right, Caravan Guard number 1. Here again, I think this was the one Chad you were controlling.
Yeah.
So he has a sword. So give me his accurate is -3. And the robber's defense is a +2. So you're going for a 12?
It doesn't matter. That was a 17. It doesn't matter.
All right, excellent. That's good news.
Does the robber lay down and quit? Then I might have hit him.
That brings us to number 2. Tim, you were controlling him. This one has a long spear.
All right. Stabby stab.
So yeah, it'll be again, you're wanting an 11.
And that's a 4.
All right. And the long spear does 4 points of damage. And His armor is that, so okay. He's still standing. He is
Oof,
he's a tough
guy.
booger. Would you like for either one of them to move? I didn't give them a move action. Would you guys want them to move away from him or just keep going toe to toe with him?
What can one of them flank and get some sort of bonus on their?
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
point,
yeah,
yeah.
they get advantage that way.
Yeah, there is it does say you can step into flanking. I don't know if that gives a bonus or not though.
Yeah, it
But
gives
why
a-
would they
advantage.
mention it
Trainers
in the movement
advantage.
actions if it didn't?
It's under
Don't get-
special advantages, actually, or special actions, rather.
I don't know that you get the sneak attack bonus or whatever.
Yeah, if two persons flank
That's
an
a
enemy, both of them
completely
gain
different game.
advantage.
No, it's in this as well.
Yeah, it's page 161, flanking.
Yeah. If two persons flank an enemy, both of them gain an advantage against the target. A maximum of
That
4
gives you
persons
One
can
d4.
surround a person or creature. Any combatant beyond that will be unable to reach the target and can only step forward if one of their allies retreats.
Actually, we also should have been receiving advantage on shooting down from the top of the tower. Page 162. The following situations provide advantage. All attacks against enemies standing on lower ground than the attacker, such as attacking down from a wall against enemies climbing a ladder. This applies to both melee and ranged attacks.
Oh, bummer. We should have.
Eh,
So it gets an advantage is a +2 modification.
Plus
Oh,
2 to
that's
hit,
good.
plus 1d4 damage.
Yep.
Okay, now we know.
yep.
So yeah, he steps over into flanking. So instead of an 11, you're looking for a 13.
Well, we've already hit.
Oh.
Yeah, he already did.
He was just talking about for the movement.
Oh, okay.
Next
Okay,
round.
yeah. I'm sorry.
You have
That
more
makes
people to
it
keep track of.
that makes it his turn. He is going to again attack the guard without the spear. So Chad, give me a defense roll at a
It doesn't matter. 18.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
so
Uh,
here again, 1 point of damage.
it's just whittling him away.
Yeah.
The dice have abandoned this guard.
That brings us to Mal Rogan. Again, he is going to he's actually going to he's gonna rear his horse and he's continuing to beat his chest with this club that he has, and he laughs and he will shout out again, that sunstone is mine, I will have it. And he is going to turn the horse around and beat feet.
Oh.
When danger rears its ugly head, Malrogan bravely turned and fled.
I mean, he was rather starting to resemble a pincushion at this point.
Yeah, I get it. I'd have probably left at that point too.
Because he's got like 4 or 5 arrows and a crossbow bolt sticking out of him.
I
knew I should have killed his horse.
But yeah, I don't know that. I mean, we're doing this in a kind of a truncated fashion, but he is set up to, like, you guys have this sunstone that he wants and considers his, and you may see him again in the future. He's meant to be like later on in the carrying or the Copper Crown tale. He's supposed to kind of show up and annoy you guys, throughout the adventure as an option. It's not like written into the story, but if the GM wants to just keep throwing stuff at you, um,
I think we might have found Twitter nemesis. I hate that guy.
He made me throw up black Igor.
Varric, that brings us to you. You're gonna calmly saunter down the ladder.
Well, what's that other guard doing, or that other bandit doing, rather?
He is currently being killed by the two caravan guards.
Yeah,
He's very, 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 very wounded, but he's still not dead. He's still on his feet, but they are like right at the door. Like you would literally have to lean out and shoot straight down.
Oh, fine. I'll come on down.
Do we want to keep this guy alive to question?
It's my preference, sure, if he's willing to surrender. He may not really be willing to surrender.
Yeah,
he's not.
As these guys seem to be as much cultists as anything else.
Yeah.
His leader is undead, so that's sort of the goal.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to burn the bodies then.
That makes sense.
No undeath for you.
All right, so if you're going to climb down, that will bring us to Velcor. What would you like to do, looking like the guard that is already dead?
I am going to run straight up to him because Velcor is really frustrated with the whole crossbow debacle. And
hey, Jonathan, thanks for checking in, buddy. Your uncle can't shoot a crossbow.
He can't hit the broadside of a grist mill.
I did hit him once out of 4 times. He's going to feint and do a backstab as he goes at him. And that's with my discreet, thankfully. Come on. Just once. Let me just...
So you're going to get a +2 because of the...
It doesn't matter. That was an 18.
Okay.
I can't even stab him at melee range. Oh well. The guards will get the kill. Maybe.
Kill stealing bastards.
Jonathan said out of all your uncles, he had the most faith in you being able to shoot a crossbow.
Well, I imagine I could actually shoot a crossbow much better than Velcor has.
I'm not sure you could do much worse, so...
No, definitely.
Yeah, the only way it gets worse is if you shoot yourself.
Don't tempt him. I mean...
Well, I've done well with guns, so... maybe a crossbow isn't too bad.
All right, Torvar.
Would somebody please kill this guy?
Yeah, I guess the same thing. Since 4 people can mob up on this guy, the rules say.
Yeah.
I will also come up and try and hit him. Also trying to use a feint ability.
All right, so the way I'm reading this, you get a +2 for the advantage. His defense is a +2, so you're breaking even.
No, I rolled a 14. My target number is an 11.
Oh.
I gotta give this guy some credit. He's good.
Bobbing and weaving. Bobbing and weaving.
The butterfly sting like a cultist, man.
All right, Chad, Caravan Guard number 1. This is the one that's been doing all of the heavy lifting with this guy.
For God's sake, come on. 3. That's much better.
All right.
And so his damage with the sword is a 4. His armor is soaked 2. He has 2 hit points. He is dead.
Finally.
They wouldn't surrender. I was like, I want to give this guy a second chance. I gotta respect the hustle, baby.
So the five of you are standing there. That was a pretty like you kind of handled it, but also that dude kind of like that whole that curse thing was kind of not cool. That could have been a lot worse than it wound up being, but.
Yeah, I think Torvar, like I said, he's probably like wild-eyed and kind of half berserker and yeah, just the bottom half of his face is just covered in like a black ichor, and he's saying, I will find that shade and I will end him.
You really should drink less.
And so yeah, you've got the body of Keller and these two robbers that were working for this undead guy. What do you want to just leave them, or like Varric said, are you going to burn the bodies in case they should come back, or what do you want to do?
So let's loot. Grand tradition. Let's loot the bodies because I want to look them over. Do they have like some weird holy symbol that is probably something for Malrogan, or any other items of interest that might be worth taking back to the camp?
The guards are wearing scale mail impeding. Sorry, sorry, that is a caravan guard. Not the robbers. Let me get the robbers. The robbers are wearing a leather cuirass impeding, and they both had a spear. They both have 5 shillings on them, so now you've got 10 shillings. One of them had a deck of cards. One of them had a dice set. They both had chewing tobacco and a quiver for their crossbows with 6 bolts in it. And their crossbows are back where their horses, I mean, I'm sure maybe their horses followed Malrogan away. All right, you know what? I did this in Alien the other night. I haven't done this in Symbaroum yet. I'm gonna get them in there. Tim knows what's coming.
Oh yeah.
Last time I was at Disney World at Galaxy's Edge, I walked into a shop and I found a set of chance cubes.
All right.
Very, very, very expensive for what they are. But they were Star Wars dice, and I couldn't resist, so I bought them. And I now like to stick them into a game wherever I can. So,
gotta get my money's worth.
So blue comes up, the horses stayed. Red comes up, the horses ran with Malrogan, or just away. Two red, two blue.
One horse stayed, one horse left.
Yeah, that's actually 4 times in a row of 2 red, 2 blue. So yeah, one horse stayed, one horse left. So you have their 2 crossbows. You have 10 shillings. There's card deck and dice. I don't know that you would want their chewing tobacco. Maybe somebody back at camp would want the chewing tobacco. I don't know, but you have their quivers with their 6 bolts. And maybe they might have a necklace, like a poorly made necklace, and the pendant on it is a left hand. like a claw almost, but it's a human hand. But it's it's this big, but it's a human left hand, like with the fingers curled up like in a claw.
It's a monkey's paw. Andy Mori.
I'm taking one of those because I'm going to put a curse on it. I'm going to put the whammy on him.
Well, meanwhile, I'm assuming there's some broken timbers or whatnot scattered around inside that tower. I'm going to light these guys up.
And I'm definitely going to help out with that. Yeah,
because I don't want them coming back.
And how injured are the guards? The 2 caravan guards that came with us? Wasn't one of them?
The first one has taken 2 points of damage, and the second one has taken none.
Oh, well, everyone's fine then. I
So
ain't spending my
scrapes and
corruption
bruises.
on that.
So yeah, are you lighting this fire inside the watermill, or?
I mean, I wasn't intending to, but on the other hand, I don't intend to ever be here again.
We know.
we're leaving this area.
How about we just take the door?
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I was kind of joking, but it's
How about
totally up to you.
How about we take the door they broke off, a la Titanic, put it on the ground, put these guys on top of the door, load it up with a bunch of broken timbers, light the whole thing on fire.
Is there room enough for both of them on the door?
There always was.
I saw a whole post on, I think it was Instagram the other day, that was talking about the villain of that movie was Rose. Like, the entire time she had the necklace, never mind her husband, never mind Bill Paxton looking for this thing for 25 years. She's going to toss it over the side. And like, there was this, an essay about how she was the villain of the movie.
In this essay, I will prove.
So yeah, you guys, do you put Keller in with these 2 or?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We may as well be thorough.
All right. So yeah,
does Keller have anything worth mentioning before we?
You already cleaned him out, but I can check real quick.
Yeah,
I know I got his crossbow.
With a crossbow, he couldn't shoot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we just had time to basically grab the crossbow and go. Cause...
We got the crossbow and the sunstone, but yeah.
He had the sunstone. He had 3 Thaler, which is I think that's the lesser denomination of money. He had a lucky charm that it says dysfunctional, so maybe it was an unlucky charm.
I mean, seems so
for him at least.
And you know what? I'm going to say it was the same necklace. He was wearing a necklace like the other 2 guys had, but apparently his was not. His didn't give him the luck that the other 2 seemed to have. And he had a quiver with 12 crossbow bolts, but I think Tim got that. I think Velcor got the crossbow and the bolts.
And wasted them.
So yeah, the only thing you may not have gotten is these 3 Thaler.
Well, how about 1 Thaler for each of us and the shillings for the guards?
Well, there were 10 shillings.
Yeah, 10 shillings make 1 Thaler, so.
Oh, Thaler is the step up.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
Yeah. Yeah, it says 10 Ortegs make 1 shilling, 10 shillings make 1 Thaler.
Yeah.
That's fine with me if that's how you guys want to.
Sure.
So, like Valkor, you've got 5 Thaler, so now you would have 6. And Varric has 5 Thaler, so now he has 6. And Torvar has 2 Thaler, so now he has 3. And you're going to toss these shillings to the 2 guards.
Yes.
All right, and you begin making your way back the way you came. towards towards the caravan.
Right. I'm gonna take one of these
Anything?
crossbows. I was gonna take one of
Do
these
what?
crossbows and some bolts also.
Yeah.
I have the same skill with a ranged weapon that that Velcor has, so don't expect a lot.
Hey,
you
what,
can't
just
do
don't
much
get
work.
lucky. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on the trees and such on our way back, just in case Mal Rogan is trying to get cute.
Varric, would you like the other crossbow? You've got an extra, or you can give it to.
No, I've got my bow. I'm fine. I'll take rapid
All
fire over a couple extra points of damage for the time being.
So you guys begin the trek back to the caravan, and like Chad said, you're keeping an eye out, kind of on the hunt. What do you have any kind of conversation, or we're about to shut it down for the night? So if you just want to make it back to camp and settle in for the night, we can do that. But if you've got something you want to say to each other, or anything any business you want to deal with at the moment, now's the time.
No, but I think we'll have some questions for the priest when we get back.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're gonna have to tell our the master of the caravan.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk to him. We're gonna have to talk to the priest. So I think a lot of the conversation is going to hold until then. Argasto.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Argasto and
Bartolom
are going to be part of any conversation we have.
Yeah, because right now we're
right.
just trying to hustle and get back while watching the trees because we don't know if we're being stalked or if he has additional henchmen around or.
So yeah, you make your way back, and do you just hand the sunstone back to? Do you give it to Bartolom, or do you give it to Argasto?
Neither until we get them together and have some conversation.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, Bartolom laid it down and lost it once already. Let's.
Can't trust a priest.
Well, we do need to shut it down for the night, so we won't do. We'll kick off chapter 3 of the Promised Land. We just finished chapter 2. So we'll be going into the third chapter of Promised Land is the Toll of the Mountains. And that will be the descent down the other side of the mountains, and see what happens with that. And yeah, so we're still learning, and I can't decide about having me roll actual attacks like normal, because once we got it going, it seemed to go okay. It seemed to run pretty good, but it's also still confusing to me, though.
Yeah, it's just not what I think any of us are used to. So
Right.
little bit of a stumble, but I think we're doing well.
Yeah, it's so different that it's confusing, but it's also like that's why I wanted to play it. I want to give it its fair shot. I want to do it the way it's supposed to be, and not change it. But it is aggravating to me that I'm just kind of sitting here watching you guys have all the fun. But
at least you get to break out the chance cubes.
Yeah. That being said, thank you for hanging out with us, Jonathan. Oh, look, Iron Bar's back.
Imagine.
So yeah, this will be up on our YouTube channel first thing in the morning. It'll be we've got a playlist for the Symbaroum, the Copper Crown game. I have been Guildmaster Scott. I run things over at the Random Encounters Guild. We like to play all the games and have a bunch of cool people in the community that we play games with. Not tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we will be back with more of Blade 68, which we're having a blast with. I'm going to be so disappointed when we shut that down. Because it's really, really fun. We're having a lot of fun with this. Blades in the Dark set in 1968 setting. And we're having a really good time with it. And then on Sunday night, we'll be back with more Alien, Chariot of the Gods. They set off the self-destruct of their ship last night. And that was the cliffhanger for the episode. Going into the episode Sunday night, I'm going to set a 10-minute counter, and they have 10 minutes to figure out what they're going to do, and make it happen. I actually have it in OBS. I have a 10-minute counter on the thing ready to go, and because I'm a sucker and a softy, I've got it set to go at half speed, so it's like 2 seconds for every one, but I'm not stopping it. Once I start it, I'm not stopping it.
Like I said, I'm sure players are going to make every do haste, and they're not going to argue back and forth. They're not going to get distracted or anything.
I'm actually really enjoying that because, as I've said, 3 of them have never seen the movies, and they're completely like bought in. Like I will just mention something offhandedly, and 2 of them will go like they're literally scared. And one of them is playing a roughneck, and when they get stopped to go investigate this ship, he started asking about more money, and I just started laughing, and he was like, "What are you laughing at?" And I was like, "For somebody that hasn't seen the movie, you sure are playing the movie out, because that's exactly what happens in the movie." The 2 roughnecks start asking for extra pay. That's like in the first scene of the film. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun with that, and that will be Sunday night, and then we'll be back here with more Symbaroum in 2 weeks. We're every other week here. Now that Tim's back up and running, we should be going without any more hiccups, barring any scheduling conflicts. My players have been Chad, Davery, and Tim, my good buddies. We're missing Kevin. When we started this, Kevin was going to play with us, but then his scheduling, work schedule, and parenting duties kind of took over, and he was unable to join us. So we're missing Kevin, but the 4 of us are having a good time figuring this out and trying not to butcher it too badly. So we'll see you back here in 2 weeks for more Symbaroum, and I will see you Wednesday night for Blades 68. That's going to be it for us this evening. I don't think I'm going to try and raid anybody. It's Monday night. I don't think there's anybody going at the moment. So we're just going to shut it down for the night. Have a good week, everybody, and I will see you Wednesday. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Later.